So we have already finished talking about sensual sphere consciousnesses. Now we have to continue talking about Rupa Vajra Citta, material sphere consciousness, or we also translate sometimes as fine material sphere consciousness. So these are jhana, the first jhana consciousness associated with initial application, sustained application, rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness. So here we have already talked about jhana before. We also have already explained jhana factors. So these are jhana and jhana factors. Then we have the next one, the second jhana consciousness associated with sustained application, rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness. So this is also four jhana factors and also second jhana. Then we have third jhana consciousness associated with rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness. So three jhana factors in the third jhana. This is according to Abhidhamma. When we study Sutta, then the first jhana will be with five jhana factors. By second jhana, here we can see the third jhana here according to this method. So the second jhana will be only three jhana factors, rapture, happiness, and one-pointedness. So in the Sutta, we can find 4-4 method. But here we are going to talk about 5-4 method. 5-4 method means we will talk about 5 jhanas. Mostly in the Sutta, we can find 4 jhana, not 5 jhana. Okay, now we have to move the next one. The 4th jhana consciousness associated with initial happiness and one-pointedness. So here initial is okay, it must be elite, right? So that means happiness and one-pointedness, 2 jhana factors. Then we have the last jhana, the 5th jhana consciousness associated with equanimity and one-pointedness. So these are 5 jhanas according to Abhidhamma. So according to Sutta, the first jhana, then second and third will become second jhana, the 4th jhana become the third jhana, the 5th jhana becomes the 4th jhana. There will be 4-4 methods according to Sutta. So these are wholesome consciousnesses for ordinary people, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Anagami. So these consciousnesses are higher level, not for ordinary people. If we have enough practice, enough bharami, and enough skill, we can achieve that kind of quality, this kind of jhana. If we can attain jhana, then we can also, if we can enter into jhana in our near-death moment, we can be reborn in the Brahma world. This is called material realms. So mostly this consciousness will arise in the material realms. For some people, special people, those who can practice well, we can also experience this kind of consciousnesses. Since this kind of consciousness arise in the Brahma world most of the time, they are also called Rupa Vajra Citta. That means they will arise in the Rupa Vajra realms. So when somebody passes away, enter into the jhana, then they will be reborn in the Brahma world. Then there will be resultant consciousnesses. As we have 5 jhanas, there are also 5 resultant consciousnesses. If an arhat can attain jhana, there can be 5 functional consciousnesses. Altogether, 15 types of Rupa Vajra Citta. 5 wholesome consciousnesses, 5 resulting consciousnesses, and 5 functional consciousnesses. So based on these Rupavachara jhana, then we can also have higher attainment. Higher than that, they are called, sorry, one more thing. When we have BT, I haven't talked about BT, right? When we have BT, we have to explain what is the meaning of BT. So in the jhana, we also have BT. Previously, we just talked about roughly, but here I should elaborate one by one. So mostly when we experience BT, that when somebody experiences BT, they thought they have attained jhana. That's why here I should elaborate BT a little bit more in detail. Kotika BT, that means minor rupture, that cause goosebumps and last only temporarily. So you can also feel like a hair rising or goosebumps, right? This is the nature of Kotika BT. Then we also have many other similar conditions, although it's not like goosebumps or hair rising, there are many other similar conditions, right? Similar things. Okay, now another one is Kandika BT, momentary rupture. Flashes repeatedly like a lightning. It also can be like electric shock from time to time. So you may have already known some conditions here. You may feel like electric shock, right? Your body is shaking, trembling for sometimes. Other than no more. It can be maybe 2 or 3 times in one section. More than that also possible. After sometimes no more. So the Kandika BT will be stronger than Kotika BT. Another one, Okantika BT, flooding rupture. Let me wash over the meditators like ocean waves. That means it will sweep away. You may feel like a floating. This is called Okantika BT. So you may have already known the sea, right? Wave, like a wave. You may feel floating like a wave. Okay, now we have the next one. Obeka BT, uplifting rupture. Lift the meditator up like a floating cotton ball. That means sometimes you may not feel your body is touching on the ground or on the floor. You may feel like a flying on the sky. This kind of thing is called, this kind of experience is called Upeka BT. Actually, these types of BT, now we talk about 4, right? These 4 are very gross. It will be very strong for you. Sometimes you may have agitation because of very strong BT, very gross BT. Your mind will go there. Sometimes you will get lost. Also very strong, also very attractive, very interesting. When we can attain jhana, we may not have this kind of BT. So sometimes people also misunderstand when they have very strong BT. I think I have attained second jhana. No more vitaka vichara. They have that kind of understanding. In reality, if you have very gross and very strong BT like this, it's not jhana. It's just normal condition. And now here we have the last part, Parana BT, pervading rupture. Pervade the entire body like a waterfall. It will be like a waterfall in very high speed. It will invade all over the body. So we also have simile, I have already mentioned before. We have very fine cotton wool dipped in the clean and pure oil. The cotton wool will absorb the oil. Similarly, our body is like a cotton, fine cotton, flexible, soft, very fine, very pleasant. This very pleasant rapture, when we have a jhana, we may have only this kind of piti. The last one, farana piti. So one more thing here. At the time of jhana, we cannot know jhana factors. Our mind must keep knowing the nimitta. Piti arises naturally. So the object of jhana is nimitta, not jhana factors. So we must clarify this one also. Okay, mostly people are confused with this kind of condition. That's why I have to reveal the nature of piti, what kind of piti we can experience in the jhana. So these are in material jhana. In the immaterial jhana, we will not have piti. Okay, now we will talk about Adubhavachara Citta, immaterial sphere consciousness. So here, when we talk about immaterial sphere consciousness, we also have to introduce a few things. Immaterial jhanas are not for beginners. Without attaining basic jhana, we cannot practice immaterial jhana directly. We must have foundation jhana from kasina. We may have 10 kasina. Among the 10, skip space kasina, remaining 9. We had 9 kasina. If we can attain up to 4 jhana, according to our version now, 4 methods, after attaining 5 jhana, up to 5th jhana of one of the 9 kasina. Based on that, we can practice immaterial jhana. Without attaining kasina jhana, it is impossible. Okay, now here we have to start with the first one, boundless space. What does it mean, boundless space? So here, in the very beginning, okay, we should introduce kasina. We should start with Adh kasina, for example, right? Based on Adh kasina, we could attain up to 5 jhana, 5th jhana. After entering into 5th jhana, imagine for it, we can also recall or reflect the weakness of the body or maybe force of the body. For example, this body is made of parents, spanks, and eggs. Originally, it's also impure. Then, because of this body, we have a lot of sickness. We have eye disease, ear disease. We also have a lot of arguments and quarreling, fighting, torturing. We have to encounter all the things because of this physical body. Okay, you can also understand, if we have only mentality, nobody can beat us. We cannot see, we cannot touch the mind, nobody can beat. Because of physical body, there's a sickness, there's a quarreling, there's a torturing. This is the weakness of the body or fox of the body. After that, re-enter into 5th jhana of Adh kasina. Imagine from it, we have to discern weakness of jhana. The 5th jhana take materiality as an object. This is also weak object. Another thing is very close to sukha, happiness. With the intention to enter into higher attainment, we can also re-enter into 5th jhana. Imagine from it, we can also discern space. After expanding, we can discern space on Adh kasina. After expanding space bigger and bigger, we can remove Adh kasina. No more Adh kasina, only speak kasina remain. Whenever you look, only kasina. Speak kasina, no more Adh. That's what we call boundless space. Then we cannot limit the boundary. Wherever, everywhere, it must be space. Taking boundless space as object, we can enter into this immaterial jhana. That is why this is not for beginner. Without attaining kasina jhana, we cannot practice this jhana. So we say boundless space. This is also a concept. That means boundary or boundless. Without comparison, we cannot know it. We must compare. There's some boundary, there's no boundary. Right? Without comparison, we cannot understand. That's what this is called Upanida Panyati. Anyways, if we say boundless space, this also Panyati concept. Another one is boundless consciousness. Again. So what does it mean, boundless consciousness? Consciousness doesn't have boundary. Why is happening? Right? Do we have boundary of consciousness? You can practically know now. Even you're trying to know one object, not that easy, right? No boundary of the consciousness. Okay, here boundless consciousness means the consciousness that takes boundless space as an object. Metaphorically, we call this the boundless space, boundless consciousness. So this is also based on boundless space. Without boundless space, we cannot attain this one, boundless consciousness. Another one, nothingness jhana. Okay, one more thing. Many people get confused about nothingness jhana. When their mind becomes blur and they cannot know anything, at that time they also thought or they have attained nothingness jhana. But in reality, it's not truth. Nothingness means the absence of boundless space jhana. So when you are entering boundless consciousness, boundless space consciousness, boundless space already disappear, right? That means absence of something, absence of the first immaterial jhana. This is called nothingness. It doesn't mean you don't know anything. You just know absence of something. Okay, according to this statement, absence of the first immaterial jhana. This is called nothingness. Okay, now we have the last one. Neither perception nor non-perception. So we have many negative, right? Neither perception nor non-perception. 4 negative, you can also understand. You may have known the theory, right? If we say 2 negative, it becomes positive, right? But I don't know nothing. I don't know, I don't is a 1 negative, nothing is a 1 negative. Right? 2 negative become positive, right? So here we have 4 negative. Neither perception nor non-perception. We can also, sorry, three negative, sorry. Right? Okay, here in this case, we have perception, but this perception not easy to know. That's a very subtle perception. That's why we just call neither perception nor non-perception. That means very subtle perception. It's so subtle that we cannot recognize it easily. This is called neither perception nor non-perception. It will take peacefulness of nothingness jhana. Without nothingness jhana, we cannot go to neither perception nor non-perception. These are also called immaterial jhana. So 4 immaterial jhana. So for ordinary people, Buddhujana, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, it will be wholesome immaterial jhana. So if we can enter into this kind of jhana in our near-death moment, we can be reborn in the immaterial realms. At the time, it will be residing consciousness as a reviving in. Okay. After that, if we can attain arhatship, then these four will be functional. So there are four wholesome consciousness, four residing consciousnesses, four functional consciousnesses. That's altogether 12 immaterial consciousnesses. So these are jhana. Okay, now we should introduce jhana and its object. Upachara. Then you may also have many questions about jhana and upachara jhana. So what kind of object can produce as a concentration, upachara jhana? We have to elaborate one by one. So it will be a very heavy topic because I will talk about all the meditation subject here. Now nearly half of the Dhamma Talk, right? Maybe within 40 minutes I have to finish. Okay. Then you have to know the first one, Buddhanussati. Buddhanussati is the ultimate reality. Okay, I will give one example. The first Buddha's quality is Arahant. Arahant means you may have no many different meaning. Okay, here I should say very simple things. The one who is free from defilements. Okay, free from defilements. That means it's a mentality. Mentality is ultimate reality. Very subtle, very deep, very profound, very difficult to understand. That is why when we do Buddhanussati, we can attain only as a concentration. So since you have many other Dhamma books in the society, you can also know Buddha's quality, right? Itipiso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho, you may have known. Then you can also try for some time for calming down your mind. In this case, in our daily life, we just do calm down our mind. But if we are going to practice to attain as a concentration, then we must do only one thing without changing. So sin is very deep and profound, we cannot attain jhana. We can attain only as a concentration. But the next one, Dhammanussati, the recollection of Dhamma. Then you have already known what's the Dhammanussati. Savakado Bhagavata Dhammo, right? We have 6 quality of Dhamma. If we talk about Dhamma quality also, it is an ultimate reality. For example, Sakhato, good in the very beginning, good in the middle, good at the end. That's why it's called well-expounded Dhamma. Okay, there will be many other explanations. I will just give one of the example. Good in the very beginning, morality. Good in the middle, concentration. Good in the end, wisdom. So morality, this is also ultimate reality. It comes from abstinence. Concentration, you know already. This is also mind. Mentality. Wisdom, this is also mentality. So these are also ultimate reality, very deep, very profound, very difficult to recognize. That is why when we do Dhammanussati also, we can attain only as a concentration. Okay, now with the next one, Sanghanussati, recollection of Sangha quality. You have already known Supatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. right? So you have already known Supadipanna, well practice, right? Good practice. Okay, one more thing. What's the good practice? It will be the same. Higher sila, higher consciousness, higher wisdom. For this we are practicing. That's called Supadipanna. This is also ultimate reality, very deep, very profound, difficult to understand. That's why we can take only as a concentration. So since you have already familiar with Buddha Nusati, Dhamma Nusati, Sangha Nusati, I will not elaborate very much in detail. Okay, now next one, we should elaborate a few more. Sila Nusati. Recollection of morality. Actually, in this case, we have some condition or some qualifications of morality. Actually, there will be many qualities. When you study the sutta, you can find akanda, achita, asabala, akamasa. We have that kind of usage. Okay, if we summarize all these four, that means without breaking any of precepts. So we have many precepts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, for example, right? We don't break any of these 10. Then this is called pure morality. This is just undertaking or abstinence. Not only that, we also have a few things about explanation. For example, Bujisa. Bujisa means free from slavery. What does it mean, slavery? Actually, this also called free from attachment or lobha, greed. Sometimes we are influenced by lobha, we do sila. Okay, now in our community, even we have many respected bhikkhu. There are some bhikkhu, they just follow Vinaya for popularity. To show people. Not only that, they also attack immoral bhikkhu. To get attention from the people. So this kind of mindset is not correct. We expect something, popularity, or some profit. This also, we are enslaved by greed. Then this kind of sila is not very qualified. If you don't expect anything, it should be free. Free from greed. This is called qualifying sila. Then we also have another one. That is praised by the wise or good people, such as the Buddha. So if we are doing well, we will be praiseworthy. If we are practicing well with a good intention, with a good purpose, it will be praiseworthy. It must be praiseworthy. I mean, it must be praised by wise person, good person, noble person, like a Buddha, or noble, like Arahat, or that kind of high-ranking people. Then, in the sense of good virtues, they also mention aparamata. Okay, when we talk about paramata, this is also holding wrong view. Sometimes we have wrong view. Or by merely practicing sila is enough. We don't need to do more than that. When we have this kind of mindset, this is also called wrong view. Our mind may not incline to improve more than sila. Okay, now in your community, you can also find many people, right? Many Buddhists. If they need to offer something ready, they can offer. They can offer a lot. If we talk about morality, they are not sure. If we ask them to meditate, they will run away. Right? Many people like this. They don't want to improve. Okay, it doesn't mean they have wrong view. They are unwilling to improve. This is an exception. Sometimes they have wrong view. Right? Only Sila is enough. We don't need to do many other things. By doing Sila also we can attain Nibbana. Then when we have this kind of wrong view, this is also not qualifying Sila. Okay, another thing is, we may also have some quality that's conducive to concentration. That means if we have very strong Sila, it must be for concentration. It must be able to lead to concentration. This is called qualifying Sila. So when we have qualifying Sila, we can recall our Sila. One of these qualities, right? I already mentioned, without breaking any of Sila, any of precepts. But this is the one we can say quality. We don't expect anything. Not for gain, not for faith. Okay, this is also qualifying. We don't have wrong view. Right? Wrong view means by doing Sila, I can attain Nibbana. We don't have that kind of perception. We don't have that kind of understanding. This is qualifying enough. Another thing is, this Sila must be strong enough to achieve concentration. This is called qualifying Sila, right? We can recall one of these qualities. So Sila Nosti also a kind of ultimate reality. That is why we cannot attain jhana. We can attain only asset concentration. Okay, now another one is Jaganosati. Jaganosati also very common. Okay, now we should elaborate a few more because this is also your daily life. You may have done many dana, right? You may have done many dana, more than meditation retreat. More than meditation hour. Right? Within one month you may have many meditation hour, right? Although you calculate all the meditation hour, then sure, your meditation hour cannot defeat your dana. Right? You have more time to do dana than meditation time. Okay, here we will talk about jaga. I should talk about the qualification. The first one is maitreya, stinginess. So our mind must be free from stinginess. This is also quality of dana. Sometimes we also hesitate. We also wish to offer, hesitate, right? This is not qualifying. Then we also have another one, that is it. We can say free given, without any expectation in return. So sometimes, right, we just offer 10,000 USD, then to regain 100,000 USD. It's not dana, right? It's investment. This kind of dana is not qualified. Sometimes we just offer to have close relationship with somebody. Okay, for example, we may offer to Paul Sayadaw to have good relationship with him. Right? You may offer to very other famous teacher to be very close to them. That kind of dana is not qualified. Without any expectation, without anything in return. This is called free dana. We embody Mutta Jaga. That is a qualifying dana. Another thing is we also have consistent dana or regular dana. This is also important. In Bali, we call Payata Pani. Payata Pani means clean hand. Okay, then I should elaborate a few more, right? Before offering, we wash our hands. Offer, right? The next receiver come, wash again, offer. The next receiver come, wash, offer. Our hands always clean. Because we have a habit. Right? Then we have one tradition that say in Myanmar, let your wet hand not dry. Then if you have regular dana, don't stop it. Of course, if some of the regular dana is not very beneficial, if you feel it's like wasting your property, you're going to feel happy, you can stop, okay? Another thing is we call Hausakarato in Bali. That means delight in relinquishing. You are very happy to relinquish your property. This is called qualifying dana. Another thing is in Bali we call Yaja Yoga. Okay, Yaja Yoga means worthy of requesting for donation or asking for donation. Okay, here in this case, it depends on how you promise and how you offer. And there are many donors. They promise, but they don't offer. They invite, but just for hospitality, not real. That means their generosity comes from their mouth, not from their heart. Right? I don't know how other people feel that kind of people, right? You can imagine I have been ordained since I was 14 years old. Right? If somebody invite me like this, I can feel how is their mind. I cannot read their mind, but I can feel, I can sense. Right? No, this is just for hospitality. No, this can be real. I can feel it. Right? So that means sometimes they just invite for hospitality, not real. They just invite from their mouth, not from their heart. So that means if you invite with your heart, that means really you wish to offer. In this kind of case, we call Yaja Yoga. You have an invitation. As you have invited, when they request, you may offer, right? This is called Yaja Yoga. So sometimes we're so scared to ask some donation from people. Even if it's very minor things, we have to consider how he may think, how she may think if I ask for this. Right? Even very minor things we have to consider a lot. Okay, for example, okay, how I understand in my life. If you have offered a ballpoint pen one time, I can ask for a ball pen second time. If you offer me exercise books, I can ask you for exercise books second time. Right? This is how I do in my life. If they just invite verbally, they have never offered anything, and they are not. And then I open my mouth, although I need. Right? So this is it, all in life. We must not believe people's mouths. Right? Okay, if I say open, I don't believe people's mouths. Right? I just believe people's hearts. Okay. We have, the last one. We call in Bali, Dana Samvibhaga Rato. That means he delights in giving and in sharing. We can say arranging or managing. So here you can see many people. Even in Nepal, you can see many people, right? Before they do some dana, they have to arrange many things. They can manage very well. Of course, there are some people, they have lack of skill in management. They don't know how to manage. There are many people, they are very happy to manage. Okay, now, here we also have Vietnamese group, right? What's the strongest point of Vietnamese group? Flower. Right? They can arrange very well. Actually, Nepali, India also try. Right? They also do. Right? A lot of flower. They also decorate a lot of flower. I have been to Sri Lanka, they also do very well. Thailand, very well. But they cannot defeat Vietnamese. Right? Actually, in Nepal, like a Mahadana or Katina or Vasa, we just authorize Vietnamese group to arrange flower. It costs a lot of regacies, but they can also decorate very well. Right? So that means this is management skill. How they manage. I just talk about flower, right? Actually, there are many people. They know how to manage. They have different skill. But for example, okay, today you can practically experience Malaysia group. They show their skill in the kitchen. Right? This is how they manage, how they arrange. They just show their management skill. So this is, we call Dana Samibhakarato. If they have to manage something, they are very happy. When we have that kind of dana, this qualifying dana, you can recall, you can rejoice whenever you remember. These are quality for Chaganosati. So this is your daily life, that's why I elaborate a little bit more, right? You do dana more than sila, more than meditation. And you can do recollection of charity, right? Recollection of dana. Okay, now we have to move to the next one. Devatanusati, recollection of divine quality. Okay, here I should elaborate a few things about Devatanusati. You have already known the Pali words, Saddha, confidence or faith or belief, Sila, morality, Sutta, Dhamma knowledge or learning knowledge, Jaga, charity or generosity, Panya, wisdom. These five are called divine quality. So that means, if you have these five qualities, you are divine being. Although you don't have all these five, if you have one of the five, you can also do recollection of divine quality. For example, you have very strong devotion, very strong faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, you can recall. Or many devas also have saddha, that's when they are born in the devarams, also have the same saddha. Similarly, morality, Dhamma knowledge, generosity, wisdom. You can do one of these five. So divine beings also have one of these quality when they were a human being. That's when they were born as a deva. We can recall divine quality like this. And now we have to move to the next one. Upasamasati, recollection of peacefulness. Actually, this is the recollection of the quality of Nibbana. This is also special quality, right? Recollection of quality of Nibbana. So it's not for ordinary people. If we are practicing very diligently, with inclination, with very strong inclination to Nibbana, we can do it. if our mind cannot incline to Nibbana, we cannot do it. Okay, here incline doesn't mean only from the mouth, it's from the heart. I have to remind one thing, right? Mostly we may make aspiration, Idame Punya Nibbana Sapatyo Hodu. Only from the mouth, not from the heart. That's not really inclination. Okay, here we should say a few more things about Nibbana quality. So the first one is like a Madha Nimadana. Madha means infatuation or intoxication. This also can be considered as a pride or conceit. In Nibbana, no more mana, no more pride. Okay, one more explanation. Madha also can understand as a craziness. That we may be crazy about something, right? In Nibbana, you may not be crazy about anything. This is called Madha Nimadana. So that means coming down or subside, pride, or mental intoxication, or craziness. This is also the quality of Nibbana. Then again, we also call craving. If our mind is free from craving, then we can also do recollection of Upasamasati. Recollection, okay, my mind is free from craving, right? Another thing is alaya, samughata in Pali. Okay, here alaya we have two types, kamalaya, attachment to sensual pleasure. Another dhanalaya, attachment to dhanna, craving. Attachment to sensual pleasure, attachment to craving. But sometimes we also have attachment to sensual pleasure. We also have attachment to the attachment, we can say, right? That means we have craving for sensual pleasure, we also have attachment to that craving. We cannot give up the craving also. Then, if we can give up, this is also the quality of Nibbana. Another thing is that we want to cut off the samsara. Then although we make aspiration to be free from samsara, if we are really willing, so we can say this is real. But sometimes although we just make aspiration, it's not from the heart, right? From the mouth. It's not real. So because of the cessations of all the defilements, the nama, rupa, five aggregates, these are also called the quality of Nibbana. Okay, if we say briefly, Upasamasati means recollection of the quality of Nibbana. When our mind inclined to Nibbana, we can do it. This is not for everybody, right? Just for special people whose mind inclined to Nibbana. Another thing is Maranasati. Recollection of death. Then this one also only as a concentration. Actually, there will be many other types of recollection according to different teaching in the Buddha's time. Then we also have, like for example, our lifespan is our life is uncertain. Death is certain. We have that kind of recollection. This is possible. Now there's only recollection like a death also possible. Now you may have seen dead body in the coffin or somewhere, laying down on the cemetery also possible. You can replace your body as dead body. So that means we have to replace our body as a dead there, right? Dead body. Then mind body also have the nature of this dead body. We can also recall like this, or we can also recall only death also possible. So this is the way to recollection of death. It will be many other ways, but it will be too wide. Sometimes when we have a lot of delusion, we can do it. To cut all the plans and projects, to have more sense of urgency. Okay, now we have the last one for Upachara Samadhi. Ahari Patikula Sanya. Oh, sorry, you have the last, sorry. Second to the last. Ahari Patikula Sanya. Recollection of repulsiveness of the food. So I have already mentioned before. Can you recall the one? In the very beginning state of the food. Can you recall? Just beyond your lip. If your food go beyond your lip, if it's inside your mouth, it changed already, right? In the plate, in the bowl, in the cup, very nice, well prepared, very good smell. After going beyond the lip, when it touched with saliva, no more desirable. Right? This very beginning stage. Okay, we have already mentioned the last stage. You have already know. Even you're gonna show yourself to anybody, right? You have to hide. Right? So you may have family. When you are eating, right? You can eat together on the table, smiling, laughing, right? This when eating. The next day, nobody will accompany you. You must go alone. Then you don't want to show anybody. Even you don't want to see yourself also. Right? This is Haribhikula Sanya. You can imagine all other process. And just talk about very beginning and the last stage. Okay, now the last one. Chatutadhuvavatthana, we also say 4-element meditation. So, in Paudaya, when somebody cannot practice Anapanasati very smoothly for some times, maybe for a few months or few years, then we were trained to Chatutadhuvavatthana, 4-element meditation. This also discerning elements in the body, all over the body. So this is also ultimate reality. That's why we cannot attain as the absorption concentration. We can attain only as a concentration. Okay, this is the Upachara Samadhi. And now we have to move many other parts. The first jhana. Here I will not explain very much in detail. For example, Kaya Gadasati. Kaya Gadasati means discerning 32 body parts in the body. Okay, one more thing here. I don't know how many nurses here also, right? I know the doctor here. Right? Actually, the doctor or nurse, they are very familiar with the body parts. Although they have touched the body parts, they are very familiar with that kind of body parts, right? They will not feel repulsive sometimes. That is why if somebody is a head care, like for example nurse or doctor or anybody, right? I don't want to command to practice 32 body parts. This is not good subject for them, right? Okay, the main thing is that you have already known 32 body parts, right? Head hair, body hair, I have explained before, so these are repulsiveness meditation. So we have to feel repulsive. That is why it's understandable objects, we cannot attain higher jhana. Okay, we have to go 10 asubhas. Okay, 10 asubha means how the dead body change one stage to another stage. For example, newly dead body to bone, Sakatarian bone here and there. Right? After this kind of stage, there will be 10 different stages mentioned. That's what we call 10 asubhas. So these are also understandable objects. That's why we cannot attain higher jhana. We can attain only first jhana. But to subside the attachments, both kaya capacity and 10 asubhas are very effective. Okay, now we have first to fifth jhana. Okay, now you can see what you are doing. Anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. So you can attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, up to fifth jhana. Again, we have 10 kasinas. So we have earth kasina, water kasina, fire kasina, wind kasina. We also have 4 kala kasina: black kasina, yellow kasina, red kasina. We also have white kasina. Now we have 2 more: light kasina and then space kasina. So these 10 can attain up to fifth jhana. So whenever we are going to do kasina, it depends on our ability. Sometimes we have to choose external one. We have to prepare. For example, white kasina, you have to prepare a white circle, or paper, or clothes, or anything. Then after that, we have to open our eyes and close, try to see it until we can absorb on it. After that, close eye, visualize the white. So your mind will be busy, not as simple as anapanasati. Okay, now we have to move the next one, the first jhana to fourth jhana. This will be the last part for today. Metta, loving kindness meditation. We can attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. No, fifth jhana. According to Sutta, up to third jhana. Okay? Then again, karuna, compassion. This also up to fourth jhana. According to Sutta, it will be up to third jhana. Mudita, sympathetic joy. This also up to fourth jhana. According to fourth method, it can be up to third jhana. So this metta, karuna, mudita also very familiar with the people. Even our daily chant, you may have already memorized some part of chanting. For example, Awira Hundu, Abhyapacha Hundu, Anika Hundu, Sukhiyadanam Briharantu. These 4 are metta. Dukkha Muchantu Karuna. Yatha Lada Sampatito Mavikachantu Mudita. So this is in your daily chant, you can also check. So these metta, karuna, mudita will take living being as object. It doesn't mean we cannot ready metta to a dead person. Right? We cannot ready metta to a karuna, mudita to dead person. It must be living being. Okay, this is one of the conditions we should have, what special metta quality we should have. Metta means we love all the living beings equally, without any boundary, without any limitation. This is called metta, loving kindness. So we may love our family. This is family love, not metta. In Bali we call Citta Pema. We may love our friends. This is also not metta. This is Citta Pema. So when we talk about metta, it can be ourselves, someone dear to us, some neutral person, or our enemies. If we can love everybody equally, this is called successful metta, qualified metta. Similarly, karuna, compassion. We should have kindness to all living beings without boundary, without limitation. This is called karuna. The mudita, sympathetic joy, it should be the same. We should have sympathetic joy to anybody. That we must appreciate success or anybody. This is called mudita. Now we also have to understand some of the metta are fake. As I mentioned, family love. This is also fake metta. Sometimes we also have real metta in the family. So sometimes attachment or family love also pretends as metta. Sometimes very, very close friendship, very close relationship. Then it becomes attachment. We can like family love. Similarly, karuna, compassion. Sometimes worry also pretend as a karuna. When you see suffering being, you may feel unpleasant mind, you may feel worry about them. This is actually not really karuna. This is fake karuna. The mudita, we can rejoice or appreciate somebody's success or achievement. Sometimes we also have a jealousy. Jealousy. We also think jealousy as a mudita sometimes. We cannot really enjoy. In our mind, we feel something discomfort when seeing somebody achieve very high level. So these are called Brahma Vihara, sublime abiding. Okay, now we have the last part, fifth jhana. This is Upekkha meditation. So by practicing Upekkha, we can attain only fifth jhana. We cannot attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. Another thing, Upekkha is also not for beginners. Without attaining metta, karuna, mudita jhana, we cannot practice Upekkha jhana. So metta, karuna, mudita, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. After that we can proceed practicing Upekkha. We can attain only the fifth jhana. So these are called the object of jhana. So what kind of meditation subject can produce what kind of jhana? What are the object of jhana? So I have already mentioned, jhana factors are not the object of jhana. By merely experiencing jhana factors, we cannot attain jhana. Our mind must take particular meditation subject, then higher state of nimitta, then we can attain jhana. Okay, today we have already finished up to immaterial jhana. So we have already mentioned the sensual sphere consciousnesses, unwholesome, rootless, beautiful, sensual sphere consciousness. But now we have already finished immaterial jhana and material jhana. So the next topic will be about Megaphala. Right? Then I will not elaborate too much. Maybe I will just introduce some limitations of Megaphala. Okay, today I will stop here. May you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize final cessation and not suffering. Okay.
Bandana Sayadaw Bhante यो मरणानुसति कसरी गर्ने होला त्यो कसरी उपचार समाधि उज्यालो चाहिँ कसरी आउँछ मरणानुसति गर्दा मरणानुसति गर्दा चाहिँ उपचार समाधि चाहिँ कसरी पाइन्छ भन्थे
So how can we attain up to upachara concentration using Marananusati?
Okay. Actually, every upachara samadhi, we need some condition. Okay. Then, as you see nimitta or the light, you're going to see the light by realizing any samatha subject. You know, as you say, Marananusati, right? You're going to see the light. We're going to recollecting Marananusati very clearly. So as you see Anapana Nimitta, there will be Marananusati Nimitta also. Right? So when your mind can absorb on it, although you cannot attain jhana, we can say asset concentration. So how to attain, it depends on how you practice also. Right? Actually, we have many different methods. When we go and study Visuddhimagga, it mentioned very much in detail. Very much in detail means, for example, every moment we are dying, we die, right? Then our mentality are passing away every single moment, right? This is just an example. Okay, we should say another easier way. Even the Buddha had to enter Nibbana, right? Even very high-ranking people cannot avoid death. Then we're gonna, although he cannot avoid it, we are very minor, right? So by compared to the Buddha, you cannot do recollection. Even though I have to end up in Nibbana, I have to pass away, for example. This is the one thing, right? This is the one way. Another is very wise people. Although they are very wise, they had to die. Practically, Bhanarada Sariputta. Right? They also pass away. And the Bhanarada Sariputta also enter Nibbana, also have to pass away. This is also the way to recall it, right? Or another thing, very powerful person, like the king. Okay, and you may have some background history of Nepal related to King Asoka. Right? We can see many Asoka people in Nepal also. Okay, even he's a very, very, very strong empire. He can establish a very strong empire. He had to pass away. Very powerful person passed away. Right? like this. So, okay, there are many, many similar cases. Wealthy people, knowledgeable people, with psychic power, anybody, then they pass away. This is one of the way to, we call it Maranosati, right? Okay, the main thing is, whatever method you use, you can see the light. When you can stabilize your mind. Okay, now practically, Anapanasati also, when you can stabilize your mind, you can see the light. When your mind becomes calm, you can see the light. Right? This something when you have rapture, you can see the light. This is normal. So all the subject will be the same, not only Amaranasati. Right? The same condition, the same process. Only the object is changing. Okay? Okay now?
Dạ, thưa thầy, con xin hỏi thầy là một vị Phạm Thiên Brahma khi mà hóa sanh ở trên cõi sắc giới á, thì vị đó có xuất hiện cái tâm thiền sắc giới một cách tự nhiên hay không, hay là vị đó phải tu tập thiền lại từ đầu thì mới có những cái tâm thiền sắc giới xuất hiện rồi?
Sayadaw, meditator when he practice Rupa Citta, and when he passed away, he could reborn in the Brahma world. So these Rupa Vachara Citta arise in him normally, or he has to practice again. In the mean,
Actually, in the near-death moment, you must be able to maintain. Okay, as a human being, if you attain jhana, you must be able to maintain that jhana until you are near-death moment. If you can enter into jhana in the near-death moment, you can be reborn in the Brahma world. Okay? This is a maintenance skill, right? In the Brahma world, you don't need to maintain; it's become natural. Okay, I just can speak Vietnamese fluently. How long does it take for you to learn Vietnamese? Right? Very fluent, right? Similarly, it's become normal in their life in Brahma world. You know, next one.
Dạ, vậy con hỏi thêm câu thứ hai là vậy có vị Phạm Thiên nào mà sanh lên trên cõi thiền mà không có tâm thiền xuất hiện không ạ?
Is there any Brahma after they reborn there, but the whole life they didn't arrive any jhana citta over there?
That means?
They didn't attain any jhana over there.
Actually, it's impossible, right? Actually, for example, if they have attained the first jhana, they will reborn in the first jhana Brahma worlds, that they will enter into that jhana anytime they like. Okay, now how many Vietnamese words do you speak one day? Is there any day you don't speak Vietnamese? Right? Is that easy for them? Okay, right?
So now there is question in YouTube. Wonder me, Sayadaw, how important is making aspiration for attainment of Nibbana?
Okay, making aspirations is just to, we're gonna just set them goal, right? By doing something, we just set a goal. In this case, instead of making aspiration like to be reborn in the Deva realms or human realms like this, if we make aspiration to be reborn to attain Nibbana, is better, right? So, if we do something, then we must have ambition. We must have the goal. Without goal, if we are doing something, right, it will become meaningless. For example, Parami. The Bodhisattva fulfills Parami. Whenever he fulfills Parami, he just do for enlightenment, Buddhahood. Similarly, when we do something, we must have some goal, right? We have to set a goal. Okay, I will, for this I do it. For that I do it. It will be more meaningful. So I don't want to say how important it is. I cannot say how much important it is, right? It depends on personality. If you don't want to attain Nirvana also, okay? Right?
भन्थे जस्तै हामीले जनावरलाई खाना दिन्छौँ नि, आज खाना दियो भने भोलि तिनीहरूले एक्सपेक्ट गर्छन् खानाको लागि होइन भन्थे। त्यस्तै हामीले मेरिट्स सेयर गर्छौँ नि, देवतालाई, प्रेतहरूलाई, अमनुष्यहरूलाई सेयर गर्छौँ। आज दियो भने हामीसँग आज मेरिट्स भएको सेयर गऱ्यौँ, भोलि मेरिट नहुनु पनि सक्छ। त्यस्तो बेला नै हामीसँग एक्सपेक्ट गर्छन् तिनीहरूले मेरिट्स, पुण्य आशा गर्छन्। त्यस्तो आशा गऱ्यो भने एफेक्ट गर्छ नि गर्दैन हामीलाई।
When we give some foods to some animals, okay, if some birds, so if we give food to some birds one day, the next day they will expect, so they will come again, so they will expect some food too. Similarly, if we share merits to unseen beings, then when we do merit, okay, we share merit, but the next day maybe we did not do any merit, so we also forgot to share merit. Will they still be expecting merit from us, like the behaviors of animals? And if they expect, will they do any harm to us if we do not share merit the other day?
Good question, right? Don't worry. Right? Actually, I have already talked about this one, Patanumodana, right? Whether you share or not, they can rejoice. Don't worry about it. Okay? So, for example, now you are meditating, you don't share, right? If they can see you are meditating, they can rejoice. It's okay. Don't worry about it, right?
Sayadaw, there's a question in the chat. He has these terms of Buddhism which is not so clear. What is this? The non-living being, the external materiality which is non-living being. What does that mean? Does that mean Uddhacca Rupa?
I'm not quite clear also.
There is this terms called the external materiality which is not living beings. Does that mean Uddhacca Rupa?
Sure, the Uddhacca Rupa. Okay.
Second question, Sayadaw, is that true that if someone can attain jhana, then he won't have dementia in old age? So, dementia means lost the intellect, means cannot think or act properly. Dementia or Alzheimer, those old people disease that make dementia.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
With jhana, that people will not have dementia in old age. If not, and then how to treat his mother or her mother who has dementia?
Actually, in this kind of case, you must just come with somebody who is expert in it, right? I'm not expert in that kind of things. Anyway, actually for meditation, it can be for anybody, right? For about this kind of mental problem, right? In this case, you must discover somebody expert in that kind of level, that kind of field. I'm not expert in that kind of field.
भन्तेज्यू, हामी चाहिँ झाललाम गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ अब निर्माणको लागि काम गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ अब उपचार समाधि नै नपाइकन मृत्यु भयो भने हैन, अब सिल चाहिँ जन्म मरमेरसँग सिल पालन गरिरहेछ अनि त्यसपछि देउलोक गएर पनि अब ध्यान गरेर अनि त्यस्तै अवस्थाहरू पाउँछ कि पाउँदैन, कतिको सम्भावना हुन्छ भन्थे?
So, in any case, we could not attain jhana. And our whole life we try meditating, but even cannot attain access concentration. So the whole life we we spend the whole life practicing sila only. So in our near-death moment, when we reach to the Deva realm, so can we practice better there, or do we have more opportunities to meditate in Deva realm or not?
Okay. Actually, don't worry too much, right? Right? Most people talk about this kind of thing. If I cannot attain jhana, then what will be the next life? Right? Okay, one more thing, right? If you don't attain jhana also, you have parami here. Right? Although you cannot attain jhana, you have parami. Because you are practicing every day, whenever you have opportunity. This is parami already. So when you have parami, your mind will incline to it more. Okay, now practically in this very life, you are young. Why your mind inclined to meditate? There are many other enjoyment in your life. Right? This is the parami. Okay, one more condition here. We have one sutta in Samudaya Nikaya. They are mentioned. If you have practiced very diligently in this very life, right? So you may be able to attain something in your near-death moment. That example, right? If you cannot attain, okay, anything in your near-death moment, okay, next life, you give me devon in the human realms or deva realms. Okay, let's say deva realms now, as you mentioned in your question. In the deva realm also, you can see many deva Dhamma Talk. Their lifespan is longer than human realm. You can imagine, right? In the human realm, after Buddha's pre-nibbana, how many years? More than 2,000 years, right? Right? 2,000 years. Can you imagine in the Taiwanese realm how many days? Maybe they say, oh, only 2 days ago the Buddha entered pre-nibbana. Right? You cannot imagine. Oh, 2 days ago Buddha entered pre-nibbana. Right? So then they will remember Buddha teaching. Okay, you can imagine 2 days ago you learned something, you can recall now. Right? Easy. That means some divine being, they can give instruction. There's a possibility, right? Okay, another thing. Now you are meditating together with many Dhamma friends here. You can also see some of the Dhamma friends in the Deva realms. They will remind you. Do you remember? We have practiced some meditation in Himalaya. Right? So they can remind you. Some of your Dhamma friends will improve more than you, for example, right? They can also guide you. You can also imagine divine being and a human who is wiser. You can imagine who is wiser, right? So in this case, although you are born as a Deva, it's not really very serious. Your mind will incline to do meditation or Dhamma or something. Okay? So this means it's not wasting time. It's worthy. Okay?
Dạ, bạch Ngài. Con có 2 câu hỏi. Trong cái mà đề mục mà 10 tử thi á, thì con có thể là quán trên con vật được hay không, và niệm sự chết cũng vậy, có thể quán trên con vật được hay không? Dạ.
So now he has 2 questions. The first one is Maranusati, can he do on the animal dead body? And for the and Asubanusati, can one do on the animal dead body?
We are not sure, right? You can feel deposit or not. For example, animal. People eat meat. Right? So for example, if you eat chicken, do you see chicken dead body? Instead of feeling repulsive, right? You may have attachment, right? So we don't eat human flesh, right? We are not going to cannibalism. So that means human being will be more convenient for everybody, right? Okay.
Mandami Sayadaw, if he just do offering and dana, do such kind of kusala act, but have no time to meditate, can he make use of the merits of these kusala actions to make wish so that he can be successful in meditation in future?
Actually, aspiration, right? People also talk about aspiration too much. Aspiration without action is not that much useful, right? So that means if you were to do meditation, you must make habit of meditation. The next life your mind will incline to meditation more. So that's why I cannot guarantee it's possible or not, right? For example, you may do dana, okay, you do jaganosati, recollection of charity. This is also a kind of meditation. When you have this kind of habit, it's possible. Your mind will incline to meditation more, right?
बन्दामी सेड हामीले सबै प्राणीप्रति समान मैत्री दिन सक्ने प्र्याक्टिस कसरी गर्न सकिन्छ होला?
So how can we practice metta until we can break the boundaries?
Oh, it will be long answer, right? Okay, I will summarize. The first one is we have to radiate metta to ourselves. We cannot attain any jhana, but we must practice. We have the next step. We have to radiate metta to our respective person. It can be like influential people in the community, like a teacher or somebody. So when we radiate metta to our respective one, we can attain up to that jhana. Or according to fivefold methods, it can be the fourth jhana, right? Then if we can attain jhana, there will be the next step, Dear one. Dear one means it should be out of our own sex, right? It's probably like a father, brother, friends. So that means in this kind of case, we should choose the same sex. Respected one also should be the same sex. Then dear one also should be the same sex. Then if we can do well, there will be the next one, neutral one. Neutral one means you don't know their name, you don't know who they are, you just see on the way, anybody. Even you haven't talked to them, right? Trying to radiate metta toward them. You can also take up to the third jhana according to fourfold methods, up to fourth jhana according to fivefold methods. Then after that, there will be the next step, your enemy. You can radiate metta to your enemies and you can take jhana. Okay? It can be four jhana, fivefold methods, third jhana and fourfold methods. After that, you have to break boundary. Yourself, dear one, indifferent one, enemies. Radiate metta, one after another. Okay, I should say a little bit easier way. Now you radiate metta to yourself. Then after that, one of the diya person, and you attain jhana. Then a different person, and you can attain jhana. Enemy, you can attain jhana. The first round. Okay, second round, yourself again. Another dear one, another indifferent, another enemy. Okay, do many times. Finally, you will not hate anybody. Then you will love everybody equally. In this case, we can say you can break boundary or barriers. Okay? Okay now? Okay?
Dạ thưa Bhante.
Okay.
Dạ Bhante cho con hỏi một câu. Thưa Bhante, trong sự thực hành để mà đạt được đến cận định và an chỉ định thì cần sự hỗ trợ. Xin Bhante hãy cho chúng con một số chỉ điểm về pháp học để hỗ trợ cho cái sự thực hành đạt đến cận định và an chỉ định ạ.
So that in order to attain absorption, concentration, we may need the supporting of learning knowledge. So Kusala, please indicate or specify some books so that we can learn and to support for our meditation until then.
I think you may have many Dhamma materials in your own language. For example, Visuddhimagga. It will be difficult for you, right? Not that easy to understand. But if you can learn, it's possible. Then it will be helpful for your practice. Actually, in Myanmar, we have many Visuddhimagga class for lay person. But for Vietnamese, maybe you may have difficulty. Right? If you have special class, Visuddhimagga special class for beginner, it will be easier for you to digest all the information. Another thing is Abhidhamma Sangha. This is easier and shorter, but you may need the teacher also. Okay.
Cho con hỏi.
How many questions on the Zoom?
Bhante Sayadaw, in this lay life, we usually meet with people with good morality and people without morality. So how should we do in this life in order that in future we will only meet with people with morality?
Actually, the main thing is ourselves, right? If we are moral, then we may not admire a moral person. Then we may not like the immoral person, right? So we may not agree with their point of view or their actions, their behavior, their speech. This is actually good enough. So when we have to associate with a immoral person, okay, we have to speak something, we have to listen something. As long as we disagree, their point of view and their idea and the way they do is okay. Okay, now next one.
Cho con hỏi một câu. Bạch Ngài, tại sao cái tội bất định là chỉ được chấp nhận một người tín nữ có tín tâm cáo tội thì mới được chấp nhận? Tại sao có cái việc đó? Dạ đúng rồi. Đó là tội bất định.
About Vinaya, certainly there something like uncertain rules. It is commit only if there's reported by a lay woman devotee. Yes.
Aniyata. Aniyata.
So why is that? Why
is that? Mm-hmm. Okay, in this kind of case, all women accuse the bhikkhu, right? It depends on how the bhikkhu confess. We have to decide. That's why it's called aniyata, right? And a lady saying room, talking something, but nobody can hear, right? Only inside the room, only 2 persons. Then, of course, there are some other laywomen or other laymen see them. They may say, oh, the bhikkhu is doing something wrong. But they cannot see, they cannot hear, but they just suspect, for example, right? Accuse. So anyway, as soon as he lived together with a laywoman, one by one, this is offense already. Okay? Now, another thing is compensation. We don't know what kind of compensation. The conversation about the sex, for example, it will be heavier offense. Okay, about the sex, it doesn't mean about like a sensual pleasure or anything, right? They criticize women's body part, women's private body part, that kind of things also. Criticize or praise or anything, right? Then this also can be considered as a sexual talk. If we have that kind of conversation, this also Sangadisesa. For Parajika, it's very clear, right? We don't need to say this one. So, since he could not see, he could not hear, it's not sure. But then they could know. Only bhikkhu and then laywoman is inside the room. Then you cannot know what they are doing. You cannot see it. You cannot hear what they are talking. That's why it just means indefinite offense. So in this kind of case, the responsible bhikkhu must investigate the case. What are you doing? What kind of conversation you make? Right? So if bhikkhu confess, okay, he has talked something very bad to the lady, it will be a little heavier offense. Of course, if he has such a relationship, it's parajika, very clear, right? If he didn't confess, oh no, I don't do very heavy, I don't speak very badly, I don't touch her. In this kind of case, it will be small, the small one, pachitiya. And that's why it mentioned 3 offense in this rule: parajika, sangadisisa, pachitiya. Right? As soon as he lived together, it's very clear, pachitiya, the last one. For about sangadisisa and parajika, it depends on how he confess. Right? Okay.
Dạ, cái vấn đề là thế này. Vấn đề là trong tạng luật ghi là chỉ có người cư sĩ nữ tố cáo thì mới được, không có nhắc tới cư sĩ nam.
I say in the Vinaya book mentioned that it's only called apathy if criticized by the lay woman devotee only, not by layman.
Actually, it doesn't mean only lay woman, as it can be anybody, right? Because this rule is laid down by the Buddha because of Visakha criticized. Right? Actually, if anybody criticized, in this case, it's okay. Because of that rule is laid down because of Visakha. As I mentioned in the rule, sure, it's me. One lady talk about this, it just had this kind of usage, right? This is just usage. It doesn't mean only female. Right? It can also male, anybody. Okay? Okay? Then? Okay, maybe we should stop, right? Time already passed 9 o'clock. Okay, now, share a minute. Etta vadaja amehi sambadam bunya sambadam Sabbe Deva Numodantu Sabbe Buddha Numodantu Sabbe Satta Numodantu Sabba Sambati Siddhiyam Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatayo Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatayo Idame Bunyam Asavakhaya Vaham Hotu Idame Bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hotu Mama Bunya Bhagam Sabba Satanam Bhajemi Te Sabbe Me Samam Bunya Bhagam Lavantu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu